Hello everybody and welcome back to World of Warship Blitz. This time we are in the premium tier 6 Pan-Asian destroyer, the Anshan. Now this destroyer is something that I won in a crate a long time ago. I haven't played it that much and I didn't know how to play it, and my win rate with it, I think from memory, was basically 0 out of 6 games. Since then I've picked up the Russian destroyer line and I've become a lot better at gunboat destroyers, so I hopped in it. I'm trying to get a video of each of the ships I have in my port and so out it goes, and I thought, right, we'll treat it like a Russian destroyer. So here we are, cruising off towards the enemy. I am trying to provide some screening, which is early spotting and early destroyer tagging. I've gone for 8p. And this poor old Nicholas here, we're heading in pretty much, I'm treating it like a Podvoitsky. He's fired his torpedoes off to the side. That's unfortunately for him. I was sort of expecting that. I give him a spread of torpedoes, a couple of spreads, gets him in a crossfire, and yeah, no, that's unfortunately, it's looking pretty rough for him. Well, because if that doesn't get him, bang, he's gone. That Nicholas got him. And then there's a Minakaze out there, which is my next target, but between me and the Minakaze is an Omaha, slightly larger. So we open the shell selector, we fire, and then we select the new shell type, so we minimize the time spent changing shell types. So yep, we're heading for HE for this guy, and well, looks like I'm sticking with HE. We're in destroyer engagement mode here. Now, interestingly, I'm going to keep heading towards this island, because for that guy to give me enough lead with his torpedoes, he has to fire them through the island. And now I head in. If he's going to fire his torpedoes at me, I'm heading down the line towards them, and there they are. Oh, and we have smoke, because there's a battleship there. Oh, we might be having a problem with that torpedo. No. Managed to dodge it, popping out of, what a waste of smoke that was, popping out of the smoke, give him some more shells and then head off. There's no point in leading that. My torpedoes are fairly short range too, so as he's heading away, he'll certainly get away from them. Got on him for firing back because, you know, it's a sign that he's putting up a bit of a fight. And Minakaze, although it's the first destroyer officially in the gunboat line of the Japanese destroyers, its turret traverse and its fire rate is pretty poor, so it just happens to be better than the Mutsuki, and he's done for. So one more destroyer to find, and in the meantime, hey, let's just shoot up some other stuff. So the HE chance on these, I'll have to look it up actually, but the HE chance on these shells is pretty much the same as the Russians. So yeah, so against big boats, yeah, wouldn't fire AP. And this de Grasse, which is a French cruiser, as far as I'm concerned, counts as a big boat. Although, yeah, well, we'll give him a spread of torpedoes just to punish him if he decides to continue that turn, which he didn't. The battleship's firing, looks like over my head at the ship behind me, which is probably a good bet because I'm not sure that I'm an easy target. Fire some torpedoes. Obviously it's not World of Warships for PC, because I think yeah, so torpedoes don't damage your friends in this game. He's fired his torpedoes out. Oh, that's a good solid broadside from the de Grasse there, showing a bit too much side, so I pop my smoke because I don't want to be burned to the ground. He fires clear in front, and we set him on fire and basically just provide an assist, and hope that someone knocks him out before my smoke disperses, because yeah, the de Grasse is not a ship that I want to be fighting. Oh, smoke doesn't last too long in this ship. But be prepared for incoming is probably the message here. So I angle myself so that I'm a smaller target. It means I don't get all my guns on him. And then we open up to see whether or not we can help the process of finishing him off. He's putting a turn in. Which way are his turrets facing? Hopefully that's not to face me, because that would be a bit of a shame if that was the case, and someone deals with them, which is good. The final destroyer is out the far side of the cap. He's got a destroyer, a battleship and a cruiser to deal with, so there's not much I can do there. Looks like he's popped a smoke, whatever he is. And I'm going to head back into the cap and deal with this battleship. So, yeah, treating it as a Russian destroyer has actually been pretty successful. So it goes to explain all the problems I'd had previously were I'd probably been treating it like a destroyer that actually was supposed to use its torpedoes to hit other ships, rather than a Russian destroyer which uses its torpedoes to frighten other ships, or uses its torpedoes to punish other ships for getting too close. Oh, that is a Farragut. That explains how it disappeared before with its smoke. It is going to be a challenge to, yeah, my shells don't have the loft to get over that particular rock, so, and someone else dealt with them. And then there's the final Bayern, who's obviously been sitting protecting the cap circle rather than engaging in the fight like he probably should have, for a nice victory. So let's see how we did in the Anshan, my first successful match from memory. Let's see how we did. And the screen will come up in a second. Okay, well, you know, pretty average, but 29,000 damage is pretty good, considering the fact that most of it was probably from guns, but we'll see that screen in a sec. Well, actually all of it was from guns, so 25,000 is not too bad. 3,000, 4,000 fire damage. That's the Anshan. Thanks for watching. Catch you.